Here's your report.
Oh, thanks, Jane. I wish I could hire someone just like you.
Try LinkedIn Hiring Pro. It's more than a job board. It's like the recruiter you always wished you had. Hiring Pro uses real-time insights to match your role to LinkedIn's unique network of professionals and delivers a short list of best fit candidates. You'll spend less time sorting applicants and more time talking to the right people.
Let's do it. You're irreplaceable, Jane, but another you would be great.
Hire right the first time. Post your job for free on LinkedIn today at linkedin.com/quality.
This episode is brought to you by San Pellegrino Ciao. A gift from Italy to your home. San Pellegrino Ciao is a flavored sparkling water made with real fruit juice, finished with a pinch of Sicilian salt for a perfectly balanced taste. So which flavor will you choose? Peach, lime, blood orange, cherry, or maybe the all-new limoncello? Crafted in Italy with 0 grams of added sugar. San Pellegrino Ciao. Buy it now.
Hear that? That's now Crispy and McCrispy strips meeting Creamy Caesar sauce. Sounds extra crispy. Caesar sauce at McDonald's for a limited time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Matt, this is the other song on the medium rarities that we felt was important to talk about. This is Al covering Beat on the Brat. Now, this originally came from an album called Dr. Demento Covered in Punk, which is a bunch of bands. It's two things. It's punk bands covering songs that Dr. Demento would play, as well as Dr. Demento adjacent artists covering punk songs, right?
Yes.
So this is from that side. The Weird Al Yankovic covering the Ramones. It's basically, no big spoiler, it's a pretty faithful cover, minus the fact that Al's like banging on his accordion in the background. You know what I mean?
It actually reminds me of, which I was excited about, like it reminds me of the sort of thing he would have done earlier in his career. Because it is a completely guitar-driven song that he has added accordion to. And it's great. I mean, this is a really, like, it's an excellent cover of Beat on the Brat that he actually has infused with his own sound and style without it losing its edge or like
it
punk
doesn't
rock
lose
sensibility
its edge at all. No, not at all. And it kind of goes back to us being like, Weird Al is punk. Like,
Oh my
80s
God,
Al
yeah.
is very punk. A few other, I'm not going through this is like a 40 song track list, but there were 4 songs that I felt were worth giving shout outs to when I was looking at the track list. William Shatner covers Garbage Man by The Cramps on this album. Show and Knife covers Eat It by Weird Al Yankovic, the Japanese punk band.
Guys, I mean, okay, go through the rest, and then we need to come back to Shonen Knife doing Eat It. That's a whole other thing.
Joan Jett and the Blackhearts cover Science Fiction double feature show.
Yes.
But the best track on this album is that Brack covers Institutionalized by the Suicidal Tendencies. Yes, Brack from Space Ghost Coast to Coast and the Brack Show.
Brack does Institutionalized. It is so
It's so
crazy.
good.
I mean, for people who don't know, if you don't know the Suicidal Tendencies track, Institutionalized, like that is a must listen in the world of insane music. It is so incredibly weird and unhinged. It's this like punk hardcore song that has the lead vocal is just a spoken word narration through the voices of a young boy talking about all the ways that people think he's crazy when in fact he is not.
And Brack is the perfect person to do it, though, because it doesn't sound that far off from the type of songs Brack would be singing.
No, it actually seems very
Ghost.
appropriate for Brack. Like it feels like exactly something they would have written for him.
Yeah.
And most famously, verse 2 of it is the back and forth with a kid and his mom about like, I want a Pepsi, and the mom's like, no, you're on drugs. No, Mom, I just want a Pepsi. Amazing piece of music.
A verse so famous that Limp Bizkit even referenced it, I believe, in one of their songs. I think they have I wanted was a Pepsi line in something.
I think you're right. I think
it's maybe not Nookie, but it's in one of their like singles. Or no, it's on $3 Bill, y'all. It's one of the deep cuts on that where he says, "I just wanted a Pepsi, just one Pepsi."
That checks out. That would be on $3
Far from
bill, y'all.
suicidal.
Yeah.
That's vital.
Oh my God. For other songs on this, because there's some like really crazy. We've talked about this a little bit on the show. Like Dr. Demento, aside from what he did with Al, he also just like played insane music by all of these different types of artists over so many years. And there are some tracks on this that are covers of like legendarily famous or not famous really, legendary Dr. Demento tracks that are just insane pieces of music. There is a song on this called Fluffy that there's a version of this done by Fred Schneider from the B-52s, which is fun and worth listening to. But the original version of Fluffy is by a woman named Gloria Balsam, who performed this at some like songwriters convention. There's video of her doing this in New York, where she gets on stage. She's like, "Oh, it's a songwriters convention. Here's my song." And it's a song about Fluffy, a dog. And it is so unbelievably insane. This woman just stands on this stage and delivers this like super heartfelt song. She sings very strangely. The lyrics are absolutely nuts. Like Gloria Balsam Fluffy is a must listen. You have to, anyone who is listening to this podcast should check this out. It is wild. And the other one I wanted to shout out, I don't know if you noticed this, Matt. Did you notice that there is a cover, a band called Ogden Edsel have a song called Dead Puppies. That's actually not the most famous song by Ogden Edsel. I think they have a song called Kinko the Clown. That is also a horrible, it's a really, funny enough, I have somewhere in my life a vinyl compilation that is called The World's Worst Records. I used to love putting this on when I worked at a record shop because I would play it and I would have people come in and be like, "Ooh, this is good. What is this?" I'm like, "It's called The World's Worst Records. Your taste is bad." But then it always worked and they would buy it. It was great. But anyway, Ogden Edsel have a song called Dead Puppies, and it is covered on this album by a guy named James Kolchaka.
Oh, yes. Past guest of our show.
Who was our guest on Hooked on Polkas.
Yeah.
Many episodes ago now.
But I mean, it was probably 2 or 3 years ago. That's early
old
in our show.
But I was looking through this track listing. I saw that name. I'm like, I know that name. So shout out to James Kolchaka, one of our guests, who is on this amazing compilation of like insane Dr. Demento records. Anyway, now that I've talked about those, Shonen Knife doing Eat It. I'm sorry, we need to just talk about this for at least a couple minutes.
For sure.
It is, first of all, they do a bizarre thing where they integrate the riff to Smoke on the Water into Eat It.
It's like real weird.
Yeah, they are doing smoke, essentially like a mashup of Smoke on the Water and Eat It into one song. I don't know what motivated them to do that, but there are not many, like we've talked about this a little bit, but there are not that many just like true blue covers of Al parodies.
Yeah.
And I've never heard a cover of Eat It before this. It's great.
It's really good.
It's really good. It's so fun. Really well done. Again, the Smoke on the Water thing, every time it comes back, I laugh. I'm not sure if that's the intended takeaway from it. I'm just mystified by why they integrated that into it. But yeah, it's really, really fun. And I love the fact that Al is on this doing a Ramones song and someone else is on it doing an Al track. Like that feels just very, very
on brand.
On brand and just like poetic. It's just a beautiful thing.
But how do we feel about Al's cover? Let's go back to the guy that we're here doing a podcast about in the first place.
Sure. Yeah.
Or actually, no. I want to start somewhere else. Actually, what are your feelings on the Ramones? Let's start there.
The Ramones. I mean, you know, what kind of a person would I be if I had something bad to say about the Ramones?
Yeah.
No, they're amazing. Funny enough, there was actually a brief period where we discovered Beat on the Brat as well. Not the whole song. Even we did a snippet of it in the middle of Truffles. But no, the Ramones are amazing. Beat on the Brat is legendary. I actually really do feel like when you listen to Al cover this song like this, you can hear very clearly how this was an influence on Al.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can
even
definitely
just in the way he pronounces words in it. You know, like Beat on the Brat.
Yeah.
Like
the delivery of it is really
good.
Yeah.
And this is like, you know, not that track list necessarily means importance of punk song. this is the second song on the first Ramones album ever released.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
No,
like
this is very, very old. And I will say, if we're talking Ramones opinions, I feel like, the first Ramones record is now just considered an absolutely like vital record to music history. And I think it's great. It's not my favorite Ramones record. I don't know. Are you enough of a Ramones fan? Do you have a favorite Ramones record?
Yeah. I mean, I love Rocket to Russia. The thing is, I think Rocket to Russia is their like perfect album.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have this incredibly fascinating 80s career where the albums aren't great from front to back, but it features some of the best songs they've ever written on them. Like Animal Boy is a great example. Like that's not a particularly good album, but it has Bonzo Goes the Blitzberg.
Yeah,
My Brain
that's
is Hanging
funny. We
Upside
just
Down.
talked about that actually on a One Hit Thunder draft.
Yeah.
But
also Brain Drain is another one where it's like not a perfect album by any stretch of the imagination, but you do get Merry Christmas, I Don't Want to Fight Tonight, which is an incredible Ramone song. I love Warthog, which is a deeper cut song for sure in their catalog. And like even Pleasant Dreams, if it was a little bit shorter, could be close to a perfect album, but you get KKK Took My Baby Away and a lot of good songs on there.
Well,
but yeah,
I also would say
I'm a big Ramones guy.
Yeah, this is another one from the 80s, but like I think one of their most solid overall records is actually Subterranean Jungle.
Yeah,
From
that's
83,
a really solid one.
which has Outsider on it, and it has Psychotherapy. That album is awesome, like start to finish, in my opinion. It leans more into like the Phil Spector side. It's not quite as aggressive as their early records, but the songwriting is excellent. But generally speaking, I actually agree with you. I feel like Rocket to Russia, pound for pound, is probably their most
That
fun.
those first three albums are untouchable though. Like the self-titled Into Leave Home into Rocket to Russia is just a very good run.
It's true.
Of releases.
And again, really, I mean, then after that, it's Road to Ruin, which is also really good. I mean, they really did not. It's funny because in music world, still to this day, people talk about like Ramones versus Sex Pistols for like the punk.
To me, it's not even up for debate.
I think the Sex Pistols record is great. I think it's really, really, really great. But they made one album. And they did Rock and Roll Swindle, which barely counts. It's more of like a collection of weird other stuff that they did. But they really only made one record before they fell apart.
And I think that if you're talking about who lived the punk attitude and punk lifestyle more, the Sex Pistols in '77 definitely were really like they were putting shit in their face and they were getting fucked up and they
that's
were
why
causing
they
a
couldn't
ruckus.
survive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was
but-
too much. Like they were living the part. People died. Members were dying. It was just like this is not sustainable. And the Ramones had at least a somewhat better head on their shoulders, and they turned it into a legit career.
But I think that that's another thing that you look at with like the Al influence, right? Like here is Joey Ramone, who is by all accounts a dork. Like he's just a dorky comic book loving loser who is effortlessly cool because he's the front man of this band with a leather jacket. Like, of course Al would find an appeal in the music of the Ramones because they were losers that became cool by playing the music they wanted to play. And it is like at its core, the Ramones is always a fascinating music conversation for me to have.
Yeah.
Because when you're talking about the Ramones and who's the first punk band and all that stuff, when you land on the Ramones as your answer, which I often do, that opens up this whole secondary question because so many of their influences are like 50s rock and roll and the garage rock of the 60s. And it's like, well, now all those bands almost by association become a little punk, right? Mm-hmm. And you look at like, all right, would I say that Little Richard is punk? Maybe not, but like you look at like him and Jerry Lee Lewis and the way that they played their piano and the way that they bucked conventional, like what a musician is supposed to be in the 50s and 60s. It's like, yeah, this is kind of punk.
There wasn't a word for it yet, you know, but they're absolutely. I mean, these people showed up and they scared people with what they were doing. Like Jerry Lee Lewis scared people with the way he played the piano, and the Ramones scared people with you're right. I love that. That way of thinking of it, how it kind of retroactively changes things, because, you know, it's funny. I remember from my age, I'm sure you had a somewhat similar experience, although you might have had more exposure to more music than me at a young age. But when I first started getting into music, and I got like early big bands for me were like Blink-182 and The Offspring and Green Day, and like Newfound Glory was starting to come up. That was like a young band I really got into from the beginning. And I remember people older, like, if I'm a freshman in high school, the older kids, I'm the oldest. I didn't have any like siblings or anything who could teach me stuff. But I remember like liking that stuff, and people would say like, the classic old school, like punk rock gatekeeping, where they'd be like, this isn't really punk. You got to listen to the real stuff, which you could go back one generation and they would tell me that I needed to listen to things like, Rancid, NoFX, Descendants, Bad Religion, which was like the era before those bands. Or they would say, go back to the very beginning and listen to the Ramones, the Sex Pistols, Crass, the Clash. And I remember doing that because I wanted to learn about all this type of music. And based on the way it was described to me, I would have thought that the Ramones and the Sex Pistols were like the most abrasive, unmusical thing possible. Because the idea, when they compared it to Blink-182, they were like, it's not even remotely the same. And then I listened to it, I'm like, what? It's very similar. Like, it's still very hooky. Like, the thing about like punk rock music, even from the earliest days with the Ramones, is like they still wanted to write a catchy song.
Yeah.
There was never any intent to not do that.
That's the thing that becomes really interesting about it all.
Yeah.
Because for me, so my Ramones history, and this is like one of those stories that I look back on and I'm just like, oh, that's so fucking sweet.
Yeah.
But my entry to any type of music that wasn't like what my parents and my grandparents listened to was Green Day. Mm-hmm. My cousin played me When I Come Around, and I was like, this is the greatest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And I just was like, all in. It's why I have such a love for 90s grunge. I think that's like one of the few things you and I don't like fully align on.
Yeah, the grunge is a little hard for me, yeah.
Yeah, 1994 was when I discovered like rock radio that was for me. So I'm just like right there in the prime of like Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam, like all of that. But Green Day was always my number one. Loved Green Day. And I wore like Green Day shirts. I talked about Green Day all the time. So for my birthday, my grandmother got me Ramones Mania, which is the Ramones like greatest hits album.
Yeah.
And I did not like I put it on, I'm like, what the hell is this? Because it just felt like all the classic rock that my parents used to put on the radio.
Yeah.
But I'm one of those people where like if a loved one gets me a thing, I can't throw it out or sell it. I'm like, well, my grandmother got me this. I have to keep it. But years later, it like dawned on me that she probably went to a record store, asked the guy at the counter, like, I have this kid who's my grandson is starting to get really into music. He loves Green Day. What can I get him? And they were like, you should get him the Ramones Greatest Hits. Mm-hmm. And like, God bless that person, because I never got rid of that CD, and I would occasionally put it out and listen to it. And it was like every time that I put that CD in, there'd be like a new song that I kind of liked.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, I knew Blitzkrieg Bop and I Want to Be Sedated, so I kept it for those. Then it was like, ooh, this Warthog song is pretty like punk rock. I like this. And then it started to kick in for me, like Howling at the Moon and Bonzo Goes the Blitzberg, and these songs where I'm like, these are just flawless songs.
Yeah.
Like this is just great songwriting. And that, like, the Ramones is the starting point of me doing what you did, going and being like, I'm going to check out the Clash now. I'm going to check out these other 70s bands that to me didn't feel aggressive enough.
Yeah.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you were the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
This episode is brought to you by San Pellegrino Ciao. A gift from Italy to your home. San Pellegrino Ciao is a flavored sparkling water made with real fruit juice, finished with a pinch of Sicilian salt for a perfectly balanced taste. So which flavor will you choose? Peach, lime, blood orange, cherry, or maybe the all-new limoncello? Crafted in Italy with 0 grams of added sugar, San Pellegrino Ciao. Buy it now.
Hear that? That's now Crispy and McCrispy strips meeting creamy Caesar sauce. Sounds extra crispy. Caesar sauce at McDonald's for a limited time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This episode is brought to you by Perfect Bistro Cat Food. Cats, this ad is for you. Has your human ever called you picky, persnickety, choosy? If so, Perfect Bistro Cat Food is for you. With ingredients like wild-caught tuna and pasture-raised lamb, tantalizing textures, and delectable flavors that meet even the most discerning cat standards. You're not picky, you're just perfectionists. Perfect Bistro, mealtime perfection for every cat. Have your human visit perfectbistro.com.
I've been in this library for 6 hours. I'm out of snacks and energy. Plus, I just realized I forgot to put deodorant on.
Oh, girl, you're a mess. Let's run to Target.
Let's RTT.
We'll grab some protein chips, body spray, and deodorant.
And we get 20% off with Target Circle so we can get those great face masks for our self-care Sundays.
I love an SCS.
Let's get out of here.
College students get 20% off their next purchase with Target Circle. Subject to terms. Visit target.com/circle for more details.
Hi, friends. The world got you down. Don't be sad. Listen to $2 Late Fee with Zach and Dustin.
$2 Late Fee is the podcast that celebrates the best decade of entertainment, the 1980s. We pick a movie and soundtrack from our youth that we loved and see if it holds up today. We also interview your favorite celebrities from that era.
All in the spirit of positivity and togetherness. Check us out at $2latefee.com.
And now, like, I think you and I get along so much because we're just like the dudes who can talk at length about Green Day's entire career, but also really get deep into the intricacies of like Barry White and Earth, Wind and Fire and like 70s disco records.
Well, yeah,
like
I
just
think,
as much. Like
absolutely, and it comes from just having a love of all music, which again, I would hope that to a certain extent, if you're listening to the show and you're a fan of Al, you kind of have to also be a fan of all music because clearly Al is. And he exposes you to all music throughout his catalog.
100%.
Like he is not, there obviously some genres he doesn't fully touch, but like he is challenging himself and his audience to like get on board for all of these different ideas.
Yeah.
And that's part
Spotify,
of the fun. That's
I had to laugh because Spotify celebrated 20 years and they sent out this 20-year playlist to everybody. And it was like, here are your 100 most listened to songs. And it even told you how many times you listened to the song on the app. So my number one song was actually a song that's fairly new to me. But it was the Waterboys, The Whole of the Moon.
Oh, great song.
It's one of my favorite songs ever. And I listened to it 134 times on Spotify. So Barb's playlist, it was like some indie artist that she really likes, and she had listened to that song 550 something times.
Whoa.
And she was like, why is your number so much smaller? And I was like, I think that I can't listen to the same songs by the same artist day after day. Like I will go through like 2 weeks where I just want to listen to like 70s yacht rock, and then I'll want to listen to a bunch of Green Day, and then I want to like I think I'm just constantly jumping all over the place. And I was thinking about it today, and I think what I landed on was like, I think that there are people who they like what they like, and that is the music that they listen to, and they have their like they're comfortable artists, and they have the comfortable genre that they stick with, and that's fine. And I have no judgment towards them. For me, I'm like, there have been hundreds to thousands of years of music being performed, and we only have such a finite amount of time on this planet. Like, I want to sample as much of it as I can.
Yeah, you want to keep discovering stuff. And I agree completely. I get that. It's the thing I miss the most about when I used to work at a record shop.
Oh, because you would probably get a record in from someone's donations.
It was
that you've
literally
never seen
part of
in
the
your
job.
life.
Yeah, was to listen to 8 hours of music a day. And I could put on comfort things, but I also could have whole days where I listened to nothing but stuff I had never heard before. And when that's just part of the work, like that's an amazing education you can give yourself, all the way down to like, oh, I was told I should listen to this versus look at this. I have no idea what this is. I'm going to throw it on. Oh my God.
And we don't have to get into the details of albums, but I feel like you and I are also the type of people and I don't think a lot of people are like this, but I have bought albums of artists that I knew not a single song of, but as I was flipping through the rack, a cover was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I had to buy the album and hear it. Like
I used to do that more. I've unfortunately had to stop just for space reasons. Like I am in a tiny apartment and I truly don't have, I actually literally, there's a new shelf of vinyl right there. And I promised myself I was not going to expand, and I got one more, like 2 cubes, but I need to put a pin in it because I'm going to drown in these. Like, it's just too much. Like, I can't do it anymore. But I used to love doing that. And especially at the shop where it was truly like a no risk, like, oh, look, this looks interesting. Throw it on. I had permission to put anything on if I thought it looked, interesting. So
that's like, if I'm not a vinyl collector. I probably never will be. I
can't recommend it.
CDs.
It's very expensive and annoying.
But what I would love to do more is buy, let's say 10 to 20 like record frames and start going through like the dollar bin at a Goodwill looking for like, oh, this is just the most insane looking thing I've ever seen. I can't wait to frame it and hang it on my wall is just like a psychotic piece of album art.
I actually have, it's funny, you can't see it here, but around the corner here, I have, was it 6? I think it's 6 records up on the wall that are just like cool covers that I have on display because I like them. I don't even really know what the contents of the music are, but I just love the artwork.
That's kind of the world I want to lean into with my vinyl at this point.
Yeah.
There's only so much we can say about Weird Al doing a pretty faithful cover of the Ramones.
It's pretty faithful, although I will, just to go back to it one more time, like I love, again, the accordion on it is big and loud and great. I love,
like you said, it's very 1989 Al coded. Like it's a slightly faster version of the song, and that accordion is like very present.
It feels like something that would have been on the first record, but is better recorded than the first album. Like, it's really slick sounding. It's great. I love that they throw in, and it sounds like it's the band doing the backing vocals that are a lot louder than the Ramones version that come in every time. Like, as they do the, like, with a lousy brat, like in the background on every chorus. It's a nice touch. Steve J throws in like a couple bass fills that I was like, those are definitely not in the original. And considering how much Al, when he does a parody, for the most part, really tries to capture the original precisely and not change it, I love the fact that they are like having fun with this. And again, it reminds me of the early days where I felt like he was maybe a little bit more carefree and less precious about what they were doing. This feels like a band in a room just recording a cover with everyone, like, playing to the best of their abilities. Like, it's really, really fun. I know they released like a 7-inch of this song, and I didn't, or maybe it's even a 12-inch. There's a single of this that got released that I actually don't own, but listening to it more today, I was like, I should have this.
I agree.
Have to keep an eye out
you
for
should
that.
have this.
I don't know why I don't. I don't really collect singles that much. Again, space. Like, I don't have room in my house for records that have one song on them. It's too much. But this is like, what am I doing? I gotta have this.
Yeah, get it together. Get it together, Melody.
But yeah, this is great. Like, really quick, Matt Kelly. This is a bit of a behind the scenes thing, but this is the only like officially released cover like this that he has done. But when he did the Vanity tour, he did all of those covers.
I want those on something.
I want those on something,
badly.
but I wonder, like, we couldn't possibly record an episode about every one of that. Would make no sense. But like, I wonder if there's a way that we can look at some of the covers that he has done, even if they're live only.
I think that's a very solid episode idea, honestly.
Yeah.
Is just, even if it's just, hey, because it wasn't like he did like 20 covers.
Yeah.
On the tour. It was kind of a rotation of like 3 or 4 songs.
So on the Vanity tour, he would rotate a huge pool. I don't know how many he did, but it was a lot. On the most recent tour, he has been rotating, I want to say 4 songs.
Yeah, it's a George Harrison one.
It's Helen Reddy's I Am Woman, and it is You Can Call Me Al, and I feel like there's a 4th.
I thought it was. You can call me. I thought it was Natural Woman.
Natural Woman. Excuse me. Yeah, that's my bad.
It might just be those 3.
Maybe honestly. It's those 3. But that would be fun because we have actual. He at the time we were recording this, he very recently did an interview with Howard Stern, and he and the band did the Helen Reddy cover. Yeah. Like in studio with Howard. Like, there are ways to talk. Maybe can do like a broader conversation, just generally going through some of the other songs he chose to cover, just to go over like the stuff that's of interest to him, and then we can also talk about the ones that have like proper recordings to get into. That might be fun.
I think that's a solid idea.
Yeah, because it's fun just hearing Al and his band infuse themselves into just a regular song.
Yeah.
You know,
just doing a cover.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on to the next one, I guess.
Yeah. Right. To be continued.
Look what TJ Maxx dragged in.
The Devil Wears Prada 2 is now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
We are digital, we are downloadable, we are streamable.
The fashion event of the year is certified fresh.
Pull yourself together, we have work to do.
Critics say it's smart and witty and the perfect sequel.
That's all.
Get runway ready for The Devil Wears Prada 2 on Disney Plus and Hulu. Rated PG-13.
Ouch. This knee is killing me, but I can't stop training. The marathon is in 2 weeks.
Let's get on ZocDoc and find a doctor to take a look at that for you.
Okay.
Here's a review. Dr. Craddock really takes his time.
No, I don't have time.
What about Dr. Charles? His patients say he can help find a quick fix, and he's in network.
Great, now we're talking. Book it.
Booked. 1 mile down, 19 to go.
Bring it on.
You've got options. Download the ZocDoc app today.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.